I will now take the opportunity to pull each of our expert witnesses to speak to the alleged violations of the Chevron refinery operations, the fossil fuel industry, and our governance systems at large. And we will also hear from our witnesses with regard to alternative economic and governance systems, which may bring us different ways of getting here today. So I will introduce each person, and they can add to their introduction as they like, and speak to the issues that they are expert on today. The first person that we will hear from today is Stephanie Hervey, who will speak to environmental justice and other issues regarding the Chevron refinery operations. So if you would like to come up here and speak, thank you so much. Oh, you can stand if you like, whatever you prefer.
Your Honor, I don't know. My name is Stephanie Hervey, and I'm coming today to talk about the impact on people, the land, the problem, and what I feel the solution, and how we can take these tribunals forward to change the course. The impacts that Chevron has had on people with exploiting indigenous and migrant workers' labor while condemning the culture and human rights of the people who nurture this beautiful earth. Because of Chevron, there's been an increase in food and energy costs, housing costs, presenting challenges to our survival. My personal experience when there was a chemical explosion in Richmond, California, it was the first time I've ever been exposed to a chemical explosion. I had not went to the doctor or the hospital because I didn't feel an immediate trauma. But a few days later, as my eyes continued to irritate, a bubble formed in my contact lens. And so then I went ahead and went to the emergency room. The hospital that you funded, Chevron, only spent less than 5 minutes to assess what was wrong from someone who had just experienced a chemical disaster. Their primary goal was to get people in and out within 30 minutes. And so I left the hospital with an advice to take an aspirin along with my colleague and friend who's a senior living in the same city in Richmond, California. After this, I contacted them about taking care of our medical expenses and was told that once they got the medical report that they would contact me. I was never contacted again. Meanwhile, I'm watching what this has done to the land. It's turned our coast into disaster. Our coastal life is dying. There's brownfields throughout the city that's been capped, poison that's been capped off. In addition to this, we've experienced extreme weather incidents that include a heat island effect, drought, and flooding within our community. Our pristine nature has been blotched. I agree, by not protecting nature, we are aiding in its endangerment. When I look at what you propose that you have done for our community, I look and see no net benefit. And because of this, I think I realize the problem. One of the problems is that the origin of this model is extractive, destructive, and exploitive. And only an economy like that can only destroy itself. That is the inherent problem. Capitalism does not perpetuate equality. And so something is going to continue to die and not be restored. I am here today because I'm hoping that as we continue to talk about the characteristics of these events, that we make a record of what's going on so that we can declare the fraud that's been happening and at some point do something about it. As a parent, sometimes I struggle. Should I spend my resources fighting a giant for restoration, or should I spend my resources create a new world? And as I work with the community to create a new world, I'm often pushed up against these challenges of a dying world. So I find that it is my duty to not only look for the future, but protect and get rid of the hindrances and challenges that keep me from doing so. I thank you for listening to my testimony.